How do? This is comedian LW, and today I want to share a story with you. Oh, I remember when my sweetie pie Bertha, she threw me out of the house and said, LW, don't you come back till you get a job. Well, I was walking around kind of sad, and my best friend Mike, he come up to me and he said, LW, I hear you're looking for a job. I said, well, Mike, my bad good friend, how'd you know that? He said, well, I heard Bertha about 2 miles away. He said, well, LW, go down to the trucking company. They're hiring right now. So he said, you can drive anything. So I went down to the trucking company and I met with the owner. And he said, can you drive that truck? And he pointed out the window. And I said, well, sure. He said, well, you got your class 1? I said, well, I went to the 11, and he just scratched his head and looked at me, and he said, well, can you take it to the downtown factory for me? I said, I sure can. He said, well, there's only one problem. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, they're on strike. He said, do you know what a strike is? I said, no. He said, oh, good. He said, you just take that truck and go downtown with it. So I'm in the truck, I started up, I head down to the factory, and when I get close to the factory, I notice there's this huge crowd of people out there. They're waving signs and yelling and screaming, and one jumped on my runner board, and I thought, well, he's going to lead me into the factory. I rolled my window down to talk to him, and he looked at me and he said, you don't want to go in there, do you? And I said, well, I sure do. He said, oh, no, you don't want to go in there. And I said, well, I do too. He said, no, you don't want to go in there. And he said, look at me. Well, when I looked at him, I started to slow the truck down. I pulled it over to the side of the road. And you know what? I turned the motor off. I got out. I handed him the keys to the truck. And he put his gun back in his pocket. Oh, that's on my CD. And if you want to hear more stories like that, you can pick up my CD. Just go to our sponsor's website, buyanythingfast.com. That's right, www.buyanythingfast.com. And this is LW saying, until we meet again, so long and have a good day.